This is KGW News at Sunrise.
Good morning. Thanks for getting up with us on this Saturday morning. It is 7 a.m. I'm Tim Gordon. It's been pretty nice this week. Nice summer weather outside. Oh boy, temperatures are going to climb. Daisy Caballero with us this morning to tell us how hot.
Good morning, Tim.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I'm the bearer of bad news because we actually just upgraded our fire weather watch to a red flag warning, but it's not just that. We're also under a heat advisory. We'll talk about the heat advisory in just a little bit, but looking at that red flag warning, obviously everywhere in the red that you see here, all the way from Longview down into the Eugene area. So what this means is absolutely, for whatever reason, try not to mow your lawn, obviously in dry grass, anything like that. Also do not burn. I know it's summer, I know it's the weekend and people might want to do a bonfire or something. Do not do that. Why? Is because we could see wind gusts of up to 25 miles per hour at times. And again, this is really, really bad because low relative humidity is going to be 15% or less. So again, impacting the Willamette Valley and Clark County as well. That's starting today at noon and lasting until 8 o'clock on Sunday.
All right, we've been warned. Be careful out there, folks. And as we head for the triple digits, cities and counties will be reopening some cooling centers. Now, if you're planning to hit the water to get out of the heat, the Army Corps of Engineers has a warning. Put on a life jacket. The Oregon State Marine Board reports there have been 11 recreational boating deaths so far this year, with 6 of those happening in July.
Swimming ability is kind of a misnomer. Like, it just doesn't matter if you're unconscious in the water. Wearing that life jacket is what is going to save your life.
Yeah, for those not on the water, Multnomah County is activating additional cooling resources on Sunday, like a daytime cooling center and extended library hours. Hillsborough will offer 4 cooling centers, and Beaverton will set up an after-hours cooling center at their main library. If you're wondering why more shelters or cooling centers aren't open overnight, Multnomah County leaders explained last week was record-setting, 7 consecutive days at 95 degrees or hotter. Sunday's heat is not expected to last for nearly as long. Oh, well, we have a bit of good news in Wasco County, where evacuations have been downgraded by 1 level at the Miller Road fire. That means level 3 evacuations, which are go, are now at level 2. Level 2s are now level 1. The fire near Maupin has burned more than 11,000 acres and at least 1 structure. It's 25% contained, and fire crews say that they are cautiously optimistic as they make good progress. And portions of 4 national forests are now closed because of 3 fires burning southeast of Eugene. Parts of the Umpqua, Deschutes, Willamette, and Fremont-Wainema National Forests are closed. That includes part of the Pacific Crest Trail, the Diamond Peak Wilderness, and Summit Lake as well. The U.S. Forest Service says the closure will allow crews to focus on fighting the flames instead of evacuating visitors. And new this morning, homicide detectives are on the scene after yet another deadly shooting. 1 person was killed overnight. Portland police responded to the area along North Schmear Road just after 2 a.m. This case is obviously in its early stages and no arrests have been made. If you have any information, call Portland Police. Well, we could see a recount of primary results in the race for Washington's 3rd Congressional District. And wow, this has gotten very close. The latest vote count shows Trump-endorsed challenger Joe Kent now has less than 300 votes behind incumbent Jamie Herrera Butler. She's hanging on in second place with 22.6% of the vote. Kent is less than a half percentage point behind now. Democratic challenger Marie Gluesenkamp Perez, on the left side of your screen there, is firmly in first, with the Associated Press projecting she does definitely move on to November. The Columbian reports that as of yesterday afternoon, Clark County officials said they had about 30,000 ballots still left to process. The next update won't come until Monday. In Washington, the 2 top candidates advance to the general election, regardless of party. Well, Gresham police have arrested a man in a hit and run that left a cyclist dead. Investigators caught up with 52-year-old Donald Troy Bighoss after looking through surveillance video from the area where this happened. He's accused of hitting the cyclist in an alley behind a building on Southeast 182nd Avenue on Wednesday. A security guard found the victim's body. Bighoss faces murder and felony hit and run charges. Well, the operator of a MAX train didn't stop at the end of their line Friday, injuring themselves and 2 passengers. And TriMet says the injuries don't appear to be life-threatening. The crash happened during the morning commute at the intersection of McLaughlin Boulevard and Park Avenue. That's at the end of the orange MAX line. The train crashed into a safety barrier stop and buckled the concrete. After seeing the damage, one regular MAX rider said he may consider driving to work now.
The light rail looked like it pushed past the spring stopper and jumped up onto the concrete. Another 20 feet, it could have been detrimental into the street.
The train will be removed from service. It will be fully inspected.
Engineers and investigators are now working to figure out just what caused that crash. Well, this is pretty wild. A Whatcom County, Washington man battled a black bear and survived. It happened near Lake Whatcom, where state fish and wildlife officers say the bear had been causing problems in a nearby neighborhood. Now, the man, who's in his 60s, encountered the bear while jogging on a trail Wednesday morning. It attacked him, but he was able to fight it off. He escaped with some injuries to his hands and feet.
I think it says a lot about this individual that he had the frame of mind to fight back and scare this bear away.
The bear had to be euthanized. Wildlife officials say people are part of this problem. Bear attacks are rare, but usually happen when they become too used to people. One of the most common ways is when garbage is left outside and it becomes a food source for the bears. This bear had been spotted going through trash bags. Well, some homeless shelters in Multnomah County are facing a big hurdle when it comes to filling up available